Welcome to Blush Synergy. I'm Lauren, your go-to gal for midlife body rhythms, feminine productivity, and holistic lifestyle. For years, I thought I had a discipline problem. I bought the planners, I followed the schedules, I woke up earlier, I tried to be more consistent, and somehow I still felt exhausted. If this sounds familiar, stick around to find out ways that you might be able to renew your energy. Okay, for a couple of decades, many of us have tried to fit ourselves into this rise and grind culture. Okay, when I started teaching 10 years ago, I was recently divorced, my kids were still very young, and I was barely making ends meet. I would take on responsibilities, extra responsibilities for very small stipends, just because I felt like I had to. My energy was drained, my immune system suffered, um, my mind and body were sending signals I didn't yet know how to read. And instead of listening, I blamed myself. I felt guilty for missing work, guilty for not being a better mom, guilty for just not having it all together. I was one of those posted pieces of a polished life, secretly feeling miserable behind the scenes. Eventually, I quit teaching because I thought leaving the job would solve um, my energy, my health issues, but the pattern just followed me. Whether I was teaching, working in an office, doing sales, the message was always some version of stay consistent no matter what. And yes, consistency matters, but I no longer believe it's the golden ticket when it comes at the expense of your body, your peace, and your inner knowing. At some point, I had to ask myself a different question. What if my body isn't being difficult? What if it's asking for something different? As women, especially, I think as American women, um, I think many of us have forgotten that we live in rhythms. We move through seasons in our bodies, our energy, our creativity, our emotions, in our lives. But we're often expected to operate at one speed: produce, perform, push, repeat. But nature doesn't work that way. Okay? A garden doesn't produce fruit every single day of its existence. There are seasons of planting, growth, flowering, and rest. Each season has a purpose. In women, we are seasonal too. Our hormones shift, our energy changes, our nervous system responds to stress, our womb expands and contracts, our bodies are constantly communicating with us. If we treat our bodies we like machines, we eventually feel disharmony. For many women, disharmony becomes louder when they come off of hormonal contraceptives, move through major life transitions, or enter midlife and perimenopause. Okay, that's when I knew something had to change for me. Okay, I had read the habit books, I tried productivity strategies, and honestly, a lot of them were helpful. They gave me a structure, they gave me ideas, and they gave me a starting point. I had to adapt through the lens of my actual body and my actual life. That's when I began working on what I now call the inner office method. Okay, the inner office method has 5 parts. I don't see it as a strict playbook. I see it as a philosophy, a way of living and working as a woman. Okay, here are the 5 parts. You got number 1, listen. Okay, you just want to start noticing your body's signals, energy, emotion, and needs. Okay, number 2 is honor. Okay, respect what you notice without judgment. I think that's a big one for a lot of us. Okay, then align. Okay, adjust your work, your schedule, priorities accordingly. Number 4, create. Okay, you want to take meaningful action from an aligned place. Okay, some of us, I know me, I used to just kind of skip all those steps and create, do. Okay, then we want to reflect, review, learn, and begin again. Once I started applying this method, I stopped forcing myself to show up exactly the same way every single day. As a teacher, I no longer expected myself to create big, high energy, interactive lessons every single day. I planned my involvement, my creativity, and my classroom energy around the rhythms I notice in my body. My workout shift depending on my cycle phase, my planning changes depending on my energy. Even my financial decisions make more sense when I understand my spending patterns and emotional patterns throughout the month. I've learned when I'm more likely to socialize, I'm better suited for deep work, and when I need to simplify, and when my body is asking for real rest. And that's what Blush Synergy is all about. Okay, this channel isn't about becoming more productive so you can cram more into your life. Okay, it's about creating that life, a life that actually fits. Especially for women, for those of you who might be creating, teaching, building a business, caring for others, just trying not to lose yourself in the process. Okay, here we'll talk about cycle sync productivity, perimenopause, holistic lifestyle, feminine rhythms, emotional well-being, and how to work with your body instead of constantly overriding it. We are productive. You are active. You are attentive. You maybe just need a new way of listening to you. Next week, I'm sharing how the inner office idea completely changed the way I approach my workday. My students might be chaotic. I can at least come from a place of calm and clarity for them and for myself instead of chaos. Okay, like and subscribe to help this channel grow and reach more women. If there's a topic you want me to expand on later, I'm so glad you're here. Welcome to Blush Synergy.